first time since Misano. Of course, came very close in Indonesia before that crash with Danny Villiers, which brought out the red flags. It was his 7th career podium for him. Second place then for Untitled Chapter. 14 points is his advantage over Max Quiles. So if Takeras wins in Portimao next time out, Quiles does not finish with him on the podium. Takeras will clinch second place. But on a difficult day for all connected with Moto3. First time winner doesn't need praise. Spirits certainly work for Honda Team Asia. They of course have been part of this journey of so many close calls for Ty Brasato when he's fallen just short, but today Tyre stands tall as a Moto3 winner.
Moto3 Grand Prix with all it means to the boss. Very emotional as the podium celebrations are completed here. Somewhat subdued celebrations, understandably so as well, after the events that caused the delay to our race day here in Malaysia. But it is Ty Brasato then who takes the spoils ahead of Angel Takeras and Adrian Fernandez. It's been a pretty good week, hasn't it, as far as the Fernandez family are concerned, with Buddha Raul victorious for the first time MotoGP last time out at the Australian Grand Prix in Phillip Island. Ty Brasato still making a big play for taking the 5th overall in the championship. It's your first time here in Sydney.
Ty Brasato takes victory from Angel Takeras and Adrian Fernandez. A 3-4 player part on the David Almanza, who certainly fought a good fight and finished 4th. Rinse Yamanaka 5th, 2 Japanese in the top 5. Carpe and Quiles 6th and 7th. Quiles which is the Rookie of the Year prize. Shout out for Scotland for the fine run in the name of Brian Moriarty, who's a size 4 from 49. Brody 10 out of the letter. Kelso, Marco Morelli, Nicola Ferraro, and Eddie Ocean, who takes the final point. Moto3, a shortened 10-lap battle, which was won by the Japanese. Moving in our countdown to the 20-lap MotoGP Grand Prix of Malaysia in around about 60 seconds time.
20-metre start, finish straight on. There's plenty of slipstream opportunities. Turn 4, a good overtaking hot spot here as well in Sepang. So too the final corner onto the lines available as you attack hard the brakes into turn 15. The most demanding braking points, well, that are 1, 4 and 15. Around ambient temperatures and surface temperature 60 degrees. It's hot, hot, hot ahead of this 20-lap Grand Prix Malaysia. It was hot here last year. What a race between Sepang Malaysia and Roy Martinez. They fought for the world title. Another second place, secures second overall in the championship with a brilliant Alex Marquez. Fermin Aldeguer was the third over the line for the time. Russia passed his way close with the motor Pedro Acosta inside the top 3. Sepang started our overseas tour in Japan a few weeks ago. Same weekend that his teammate Marc Marquez was crowned MotoGP World Champion. Sepang Malaysia in Matavy was untouchable, wasn't he? Absolutely on a different level. As he took the pole position, as he took the sprint win, and as he then took the Grand Prix victory. Well, he's on course for another trouble here today in Malaysia. Probably we should coat over what's happened to Bagnaia in between those two brilliant weekends in Mandalika and Australia, where frankly, by his own admission, he was embarrassing, abysmal, and by the exceptionally high standards of the factory, the Ducati start. Bagnaia will once again fire away from pole position. The 28-year-old Italian, 20. Pole position in the MotoGP World Championship. 20 laps will coming your way in just over half an hour's time here in the hottest conditions of the weekend. It's muggy Malaysia, it's scorching hot Malaysia, no question about that, as ambient temperatures not going to be far shy of 35 degrees by the time this lights out for this round 20 over 20 laps. In the company of Matt Burton, who is sitting in the Scotch box with Jack Apexward down in pit lane. Malaysian fans once again absolute force to roar on their MotoGP heroes. And the hero of race day 20 once again, Sepang Malaysia, already a double Sepang winner in the top class, including of course his victory in what was arguably the best race of 2024. Certainly the first few laps of that epic battle he had with title rival Jorge Martin. A race winner also back in 2022 was Bagnaia. Fierce competition though will be posed by a couple of other strong Ducatis. Alex Marquez with the shackles off, having secured second place in the championship. And Alex right as well, the top of the podium for the third time in his MotoGP career. What about Fermin Aldeguer? He's already won in baby knock conditions on his overseas sweep, hasn't he? And Mandalika a few weeks ago to become the second youngest rider in Premier Class history. In these scorching hot conditions, who will go for the soft rear tyre? Who will gamble the soft rear? Who will go for the medium rear? Well, Jack's got some tight information before the riders leave pit lane. Jack, what are the riders thinking?
Well, quite remarkably, as things stand, it looks like the vast majority of the grid are going to go for the soft rear tyre, which Piero Taramasso said to us earlier on. In those final 2 or 3 laps of the Grand Prix, they expect them to be at 100%, maybe 110%. Consumption of the tyre. Piero saying none of the teams want to give up that early time at the start of the race where there is a clear deficiency in the medium tyre. They would much rather have the soft and just try and manage it to the end. If everybody does go to the soft, it looks like the vast majority goes to the grid with it. It's going to make a fascinating race.
Yeah, thanks Jack. It certainly will make it a little bit more tastier. Some spice added then to this Malaysian Grand Prix. The majority pick are going for the software. This will be, without question, a time when it's been raced. So many riders, of course, in the sprint yesterday when they were able to push and attack harder over the shorter 10-lap format. In the 10 laps, several riders reporting significant big drops with the soft rear tyre. makes a juicy run, no question.
So it does. Also on Friday was in much cooler track conditions. We had a lot of cloud cover. That temperature was probably around 20 degrees cooler than it is for the Grand Prix this afternoon. So the medium tyre just would not work. They just couldn't get it fired up and actually exploit the grip from it. So everyone went across to the soft. What that's then meant is that even though maybe the conditions today are better for the medium, a lot of riders have barely ran it at any stage in the weekend and don't have the information on it. And as Jack Rowe pointed out, potential time loss and position loss early in the race could negate any benefit you get from the medium later on. Just take Marco Bezzecchi, for instance, back in Australia, because it wasn't down to tyres, but he did find himself in traffic after 2 long lap penalties and didn't ultimately make that time back up. This is the story of Alex Marquez's sprint yesterday. A sprint he admitted he was rather nervous in, with so much on the line, even if second place in the championship felt like formality rounds for a few races now. Eventually won that battle with Pedro Acosta, who fell behind Fermin Aldeguer, of course, regained that third place due to a tyre pressure penalty. He never had anything really for Pecco Bagnaia, but that wasn't really Alex Marquez's priority. He was all about securing the points he needed to take second place in the championship, and with Pecco Bagnaia winning the sprint, second was enough.
The Sepang Madrid connection. Thankfully, some good Wi-Fi in this part of Malaysia to allow Marc Marquez to pass on his immediate congratulations to his brother Alex. What a story, what a journey has been for those two for so many years. A journey that has taken them to the top 2 in the MotoGP World Championship. We grew up together, we had fun together, we worked together, we suffered together, and this year we won together. But nothing that those two have not seen throughout their Grand Prix careers, and what an accolade it is. Alex then securing second place in the standings, 4th in the Grand Prix here last year from the front row, but we hope to go at least one better over 20 laps this afternoon. And Fermin Aldeguer, there's no question, we know how good he is at managing, fading, gripping, scored to knock conditions, he blocked what he did, destroyed the field, didn't he, in that recent Indonesian Grand Prix. And there are a lot of people deep inside that Gresini Ducati camp who think Aldeguer has got a great crack at winning number 2 here in Malaysia.
Certainly going to have to be careful early on, as Draghi wasn't this confirmation of the penalty he received yesterday, which took him from 3rd down to 7th. Certainly the fastest rider on track at the end of the sprint, which over the distance that will certainly bode well for him. As a memory, he might go 2 spots for the Brazilian duo, team from the darker shade of blue. On the 11th of Fermin Aldeguer, it's also a darker blue motorcycle, but still very easy to pick the Brazilian duo apart. Feel those 3 riders in the front of picture, Bagnaia, Alex Marquez and Fermin Aldeguer. In all probability, the winner is going to come from one of those 3.
Rookie of the year, and somebody was rookie of the... Yeah, come on, nice one, Fermin Aldeguer. That bronze medal eventually was going to be stripped from around his neck and placed in the hands of Pedro Acosta. But it has been a stellar campaign from Aldeguer, who has delivered on all the promise and potential which Ducati saw in pre-2024 Moto2. At times, it's fair to say, this weekend, not looking particularly over-enamoured with his Sepang experience in 2025. It's been Fabio Quartararo. He's certainly not lacking support, as we can see that family grandstand's going absolutely potty for Fabio. He's got a smile. Finally, he breaks a smile on his face. Quartararo then, as sexy was in the Grand Prix here last year, which remarkably was the only top 6 for a Japanese bike in the whole of 2024. What is the American podium? We'll find out who asking after this 20 lap Grand Prix.
Give a thumbs up. So maybe she got the answer she was looking for. Fabio Quartararo, will he be one of those going for the soft rear tyre, which we understand could well be the majority of this field. Lane is now open. And will be open for the next 5 minutes as they head round to the grid. 20 laps have actually coming up. If you're just joining us for this MotoGP Grand Prix, there was a substantial delay earlier on in Moto3 due to a serious accident on the exciting lap of Becula and Jose Antonio Awega, which means we are yet to see the Moto2 battle that will follow MotoGP, that 4:30 local time.
Plenty of Bears fans out in force here in Sepang, including one of them who's got the absolutely awesome name of Bears Light. Love that. Superb. This will be the Bears made on what was an excellent recovery action. 14th on the grid, 7th on the road. Pushed up inside the top 6 after the Aldeguer penalty. Had to do a lot of work for that 7th place, didn't he? Moves on Zara Marco moves on to Digia, moves on Marine, moves on Hollins to maybe one day MotoGP, ultimately Marine later on in the sprint was to suffer his first DNF of 2025, his first crash, believe it or not, of 2025 as well. Polispargo, another victim of that second charge through the pack. Bez with the ice vest on, trying to keep himself cool at the end of that sprint yesterday. He's going to go double the distance, over 20 laps this afternoon. So then, we believe, as Jack told us, having spoken to some Michelin insiders, that the majority of the riders are going to take the punt, they're going to go for the gamble, they're going to try and make that soft over distance, over 20 laps. And it will make the Grand Prix interesting, won't it? Pedro Acosta then, promoted to third in yesterday's sprint, once again by far the leading line for KTM. Can he repeat that podium in the Grand Prix this afternoon? We've got the boss, Aki Ayo, joins Jack.
Yeah, I've got Aki with me in the back of the KTM box. Aki, I understand the vast majority of the field are maybe looking into the top rear tyre. What are KTM thinking?
At the moment, seems like our plan is to go with the same tyres as yesterday, but of course, you know, some on the grid, but I really feel that majority on the grid is with the soft one today. Front is a bit more mixed.
We saw yesterday, even in the sprints, there was an obvious drop for Pedro. He's had his tyre troubles over recent weeks. For those on the KTM, how much of a risk is it to go for the top? Do you think you can get it to the end of the race?
Yeah, I think everyone, all the manufacturers has tested, let's say, medium also this weekend, and still after testing, seems like majority is soft. So sometimes the difference is small and sometimes bigger. So for sure, it's really a race to manage.
As a result, is it a bit of a race of survival for Pedro?
For sure, I believe for everyone, of course, here in this one is let's say compound for Pedro. It's a race for survival, but of course, long race is always a different story as a sprint, and of course, you need to prepare and manage it in the way.
Thanks, Aki. Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks to Aki Ayo. A tyre management mission on the way then in Malaysia, coming up for 23 riders. Just a bit of housekeeping for joining us for the first time this weekend. No Marquez replacement to get money from Zero. No Ryan Martin, sadly, ongoing with that shoulder injury he suffered in McTavie. He's replaced by Lorenzo Salvadori. Polispargo back once again, replacing Maverick Vinales. And Augusto Fernandez in Yamaha Wildcard, getting more relevant on the powered YZR M1.
Interesting to expect a tyre management race in light of KTM, because managing tyres is something they manage with great difficulty. It's going to play into their hands that others will also be on that soft tyre, whether they're in further trouble. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Pedro Acosta going from 5th on the grid, Polispargo 12th, and then Ashby 19th, one close behind. Pecco Bagnaia falls to his customary pole position. I think we've given up trying to predict or work out what Pecco Bagnaia is going to do from one weekend to the next. But the last time he took pole position and won the sprint, he did then back that up with Grand Prix victory. It's a third consecutive Sepang pole for Pecco, and he backed it up with a third Sepang MotoGP win. He's had 5 pole sprint wins Grand Prix for the trainer previously in his career.
Well set, certainly to at least fight for that 6. Let's go down onto the grid. Congratulations once again to our 2025 Rookie of the Year, Fermin Aldeguer on the second row, Jack.
Yeah, Fermin was fantastic yesterday. Of course, on the sprint podium, but unfortunately that penalty cost him. Fermin, this looks like it's going to be a real race of survival with everybody on the soft rear tyre. How do you feel ahead of it?
Yeah, for sure. The key of the race will be the management of the rear tires. I think the last part of the race will be very difficult and much slower than the first laps, but nothing. This is one of our stronger points. Try to manage the best way as possible, and after finish in the best version as possible. So we did a Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much to Fermin Aldeguer. Congratulations once again to him for an incredible year. So incredible. Yes, there was a sort of tyre choices. The only anomaly in the front row of the grid was Alex Marquez with the Brazilian cat. He clearly was on tyre. As it stands right now, that could change, of course. The two Italians, medium front, soft rear.
Yeah, the majority are soft to soft. We've got Alex Rins, who's also medium front, Luca Marini, and Raul Fernandez on the medium front. So too is Miguel Oliveira and Lorenzo Salvadori further back. So the vast majority of the field are going for essentially the same tyre combination that they ran in the sprint yesterday.
See that on one front wing out of thanking them on the side to that there. Now being changed over to what we expect to be a brand new medium front tyre for Morbidelli. Just the second front row of the year for the 30-year-old Italian, who has very happy memories of Sepang, although the two world champion crown here. So too, of course, with Alex Marquez in 2019. So too is this driver on screen. He celebrated one of his two Moto2 successes here in Sepang, and he did it in spectacular fashion with a double backflip with his brother a few years ago, back in 2016. Still logging in 46. Well, it is, of course, you can't really go through the race day program here in Sepang without mentioning that race, that Grand Prix 2015 Sepang, the clash, one of the biggest clashes in personalities, talents and egos we've ever seen. Valentino Rossi versus Marc Marquez, all the way back in 2015 in what proved to be a very controversial and pivotal Malaysian Grand Prix a decade ago.
Tyres been brought to the grid too for Chilan Zarco. Given that you need all the run you can get through this 20-lap Grand Prix, everyone of course taking some old worn tyres to the grid. Well, old tyres is Bastianini's forte really, because he sits in some much needed shade just underneath us in the grandstand. Bastianini 19th on the grid, but just trying back to Australia, he qualified 20th and was inside the top 10 at the end of both the sprint and the Grand Prix. He then came across the line yesterday in the final points position in 9th place. So one thing we can rest assured in is that if he's still in the race, Bastianini's going to be going forwards.
Feels like this is a tailor-made Grand Prix for Bastianini. He's not known as the MotoGP tyre whisperer for nothing, is he? When he was on the Ducati back in the day, or on the current KTM, he still does seem to be the master of still being able to get a lot of performance and speed out of a material into the rear tyres. So too, of course, Fermin Aldeguer falls back into that category. Well, Alex Marquez was the only outlier on that front row, but it's on the front tyre, George. He's going soft. I wonder if that might have changed. Is that down to you?
Yeah, that's where the lead is concerned right now. You might have heard in the back of the shot, very, very rarely does a MotoGP bike get started on the grid. Normally, it only does if there's some kind of problem, and it seems to be there's a slight electronic issue potentially with Alex Marquez's team. There's a couple of officials of Captain personnel coming over and taking a look at the laptop. There doesn't seem to be too much frantic work. They are putting the brand new tyres into this one as things stand, but I'll stay with this and just try and work out exactly what's happening, because there's something out of the ordinary going on right now.
Yeah, thanks very much, Jack. I mean, these are intense, high-stress situations anyway, aren't they? When everything's running smoothly down on the grid. Last thing that Alex Marquez needs is back to power away from second here on the front row in Sepang.
Well, the pressure is removed from Alex Marquez, of course having clinched the runner-up spot in the championship yesterday, but he would have wanted to, with the benefit of that pressure being removed, to just go for it today and challenge for victory. Of course, Alex Marquez has already taken a couple of Grand Prix victories this season, both on Spanish tarmac in Jerez and in Barcelona, and he would relish the opportunity to go head-to-head with Pecco Bagnaia from the front of the field today. Raul Fernandez, our most recent Grand Prix winner, Phillip Island winner 7 days ago. Feels like it's going to take something absolutely extraordinary for Raul Fernandez to go back-to-back this weekend. The Aprilia not just gelling with this Sepang circuit, nor the real tyre options we have here.
Fernandez, 76th starting for the time. It's the 7th longest await in history for a first MotoGP success. The latest Spargo, 200 starts. Daniele Petrucci, 124 starts. Chilan Zarco on his current grid, 120 starts. Cal Crutchlow, 98 starts. Alex Marquez on the front row, 94 starts. And Jack Finney, 92 starts. The only riders that took longer in Grand Prix history to find their first MotoGP success. That second medium front tyre.
That's a change since he initially made his choice on the choices to be fitted to us. Quite fast on the main straight, which is why you can hear a massive roar, and we've got smoke enveloping us outside our commentary box window. Here is the aerial show providing
this evening, including my good self, but I hope it's on a rather bigger plane than that one that's currently hovering overhead here in Malaysia. Marco Bezzecchi has to factor in, doesn't he? He has to factor in. Bezzecchi, 14th on the grid. So many riders yesterday in a pretty intense battle for the bottom end of the points one place in the sprint. We're reporting big issues with a ballooning front tyre temperature and a ballooning front tyre pressure as well. If you get my mid-pack here, you're going to be in a whole world of pain managing that front tyre. Alex Spargo, good to see him back, supporting of course his brother Paul, who's doing such a sterling job of placing the engine. Maverick Vinales. Lacey is not here as a tourist, he's not here as a holiday maker, or he's not today, but he has got some busy work next week. He once again throws his leg over the 2026 prototype Honda RC213V. He's spent a lot of his 2025 already so far here in Sepang, as Aleix.
Mentioned the difficulty that riders have when they're in traffic and the hot air that's not only hitting them but their front tyre. That's part of the reason why Paco Bagnaia and Jorge Martin were so busy backing into us. They wanted that clear track. Let's take an update from the grid. It's all okay with Alex Marquez's Ducati. Michele Massini's with Jack.
Yeah, it does seem everything's okay. Michele, just to confirm everything okay with Alex's bike?
Yeah, at the moment I can say that the bike is okay.
Great to hear. For both riders, this is obviously going to be all about tyre management, trying to get that rear tyre to the end. Looks as though Alex with the soft front, is that the case still?
Yeah, I hope that we take the right choice for the race, and we'll see if we can manage well the last 8-9 laps.
Okay, good luck.
Jack Lane's the good news is that as far as Alex Marquez is concerned, whatever sort of tech Redling concerns they had during the race, they seem to have evaporated in these sizzling hot conditions. Has a bit of a tweak in his neck with Alex after a pretty heavy crash in F1 Friday morning in turn 7. And he'll be a pain in the neck with Paco Bagnaia, so another Sepang success here this afternoon.
As riders unite on their way to the front of the grid for the national anthem, which is coming up in a couple of minutes' time. Paul Espargaro and Mackenzie Pirro we saw there. Mackenzie Pirro in for Marc Marquez, of course. There is a test being scheduled sometime between now and Portimao in Jerez, involving the World Superbike Championship runner-up Buliga, which could potentially lead to Buliga appearing in the final couple of Grand Prix of the season. So this may yet be the last time we see Pirro in a Grand Prix this season.
Thank you, Mohammed Ali. Just having a chat with our British TV colleagues down in what is going to be a scorching hot pit lane. Fabio Di Antonio trying to keep himself as cool as possible before what are going to be 22 of the toughest laps of 2025 coming your way. Alex Marquez, after the bad tackle, got an umbrella and himself in shavings, bottom of the cap. Coming out the old Sennis trials and tribulations so far this weekend. The classic Q1 at turn 4. A lap time when he was fastest in Q1, which would have put him on the front row of the grid in Q2. And then of course, after that crash at turn 4 in Q1, he then crashed the Ducati at the back of the garage in what was a pretty eventful 10 minutes or so following that qualifying session. The riders then come to the front of the grid for the traditional pre-race ceremony. By the traditional pilot. Throughout this weekend on the grid as fans, young and old, enjoying all the pre-race atmosphere. Not be too intimidated, speaking of no rating by the time that stop from the MotoGP rivals in the sprint for pole position will be Paco Bagnaia shortly. And you can see that magnificent Tower of Champions on the right hand side of your picture. Marc Marquez, of course, adding his name countdown to 20 chapter 2025, well and truly underway. They certainly bring the passion, don't they, the Malaysian fans? This is a classic, iconic Grand Prix venue, isn't it? Hard to think this all the way back in 1999 now, since we first came racing here at the Sepang International Circuit. 15 times at this great venue there's been world champions crowned, including that right on your screens back in 2018 when Paco Bagnaia prevailed in the Moto2 world title chase, and Fabio Quartararo again put back to Yamaha in contention for the top 5 maybe in this lap. Let's thoughts of Osmar regarding to Jack.
Maya, with everybody having to manage the tyres in the opening part of this race, could that make it an opportunity for you guys?
For us, it's going to be a really tough race for everybody because, as you can imagine, already these conditions are not helpful for them, and they have to manage the situation with their soft tire that will make their life even harder. And it's not also possible to manage the tire at the beginning of the race because there is a risk that you have to try to manage the tire from the beginning to the end, and we expect that at the end, however, the tire will be finished.
Good luck, and this is good luck for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Jack. Thanks to Yamaha boss Maya Marigali. Yeah, got to get to the finish with what's probably going to be a finished set of Michelin tyres. Fabio Quartararo as late as possible to jump on his White-Star M1 machine. Still in the rocky shade that it's been offered by the main grandstand, well, two main grandstands here in Sepang that are playing with two long straights. Alex Marquez then three-way dramas aside. The MotoGP Grand Prix for the first time outside of home turf. He has won a sprint here before in Malaysia, did so back in 2023. Anybody stop Paco Bagnaia from completing or starting his traditional overseas tour with a treble? It's really hard to imagine, isn't it? I mean, we said yesterday, probably the curious case of Paco Bagnaia. It was 8 days ago in Phillip Island, Australia, where he crossed the line in the sprint 32 seconds behind Marco Bezzecchi. That followed a sprinting Mandariki where he was 29 seconds behind Bez, then crashed out of lap in the Grand Prix. I mean, talk about a roller coaster, 5 weeks and 4 rounds for the Italian.
Yeah, when he's good, he's almost unbeatable. But when he's not, he is beaten by just about everybody on track. It appears we've got the best of Paco Bagnaia here this weekend, but he's well aware, as we are, that this is not going to be an easy 20 laps of action for him. Certainly the start, the first couple of laps are going to be all important to maintain that track position next time we go. That happens with Bagnaia Martin last year was so aggressive, partly because they're fighting for world championship, but also because they wanted that track position. They didn't want a rider ahead of them, putting hot air on their front tyre and making their pressure go through to that route.
Consideration will be a big factor at play in this Grand Prix. Fans braving it in the blazing sunshine at the moment. Like I say, used to the rear tyre that Paco Bagnaia would have used to have come to this route here in Sepang. A winner already in MotoGP 31 times. 11, of course, Danny Pedrosa and Eddie Lawson. There's now only 7 riders in MotoGP history that have won more Grand Prix than Ivan Petco, and they are some of the greatest good, aren't they, in MotoGP? Giacomo Agostini, Valentino Rossi, Marc Marquez, Mick Doohan, Roy Lorenzo, Casey Stoner and Mike Hayward. You can jump ahead of Danny Pedrosa and Eddie Lawson in the all-time winners list. Alex Marquez and Fermin Albuquerque will have a big part to say in proceedings coming up in a couple of weeks' time as the grid then starts to clear on the front row for just the second time in 2025. It's Frankie Morbidelli, a Moto2 world champion crowned right here back in 2017, points in all 5 in his MotoGP career, having secured second in the world championship yesterday in the sprint. Alex Marquez goes from second on the grid, but it's Paco Bagnaia looking to complete yet another dominant double in Sepang. Rounds of MotoGP action as we headed off on our overseas tour. There has been some big highs. Marc Marquez, crown world champion in Japan. Fernando Mandalika becoming the second youngest rider in Premier Class history to win a Grand Prix. Val Fernandez becoming another new first-time winner in 2025. That's 7 different winners so far this season. 5 different winners in the last 5 Grand Prix. Message loud and clear from Michelin Motorsport boss Piero Calamasso. Sovereign tyre choice. Well, you're going to have to manage it big time over the course of this 20-lap Grand Prix of Malaysia. This is Pecco Bagnaia lead the field away from pole position. Yesterday in the sprint, nobody saw which way the 63 went as he secured a 13th gold medal. Fabio Di Gianantonio, someone that was spent yesterday missing out on a point scoring place in the 10th spot. Once again, Bagnaia just to be at walking speed going through the first corner, coming through the win as late as possible. While with the weight of the pressure of securing second place lifted off the shoulders of Alex Marquez, and now fully unleashed, will Alex decide just to go for broke in this 20-lap battle before we head back to Europe for the gear? He's not going to be helped at all, is he? Certainly by these baking hot conditions, without any question. It's been the clearest skies we've had so far this weekend, which means it is really, really hot. 35 degrees the ambient temperature will be at the moment. The warm-up back underway, incredibly warm conditions. Thank you, then on the front row of the Arena Enduro VR46. Frankie going 2023 7th place, so he has been here before. 2023 Sepang winner Pecco Bagnaia after those epic opening laps he had with Jorge Martin, who's sadly still missing with the left shoulder injury he suffered in the turn 1 incident with Marco Bezzecchi in Mategi. Hoping to maybe see Jorge Martin back at the final Grand Prix in Valencia. So a crowd, record crowd here this weekend, a record weekend crowd here in Sepang, just shy of 200,000 fans lending real support as always. Heading to Sepang to watch this conclusion to our flyaway tour. Fernando already got the job done. One of his big missions pre-season was to try and win the Rookie of the Year title. Well, that's in the pocket, that's business done as far as Alligator is concerned. We know how strong Alligator comes late on in these Grand Prix. What can he do then from that second row of the grid? A second row which features Quartararo, Acosta, and he has done. He picks up Acosta and runs across that to paperwork on the outside of turn 4. So Alex getting very aggressive early on here through on Acosta in that 4th corner.
So the Hondas have already swapped around. Marini's up to 7th. We saw Mir getting pushed way wide through turn 3. There is Mir up behind the Biafra. In fact, he has now repassed Marini. They're 7th and 8th.
4 start for Bezzecchi. A lot of work to do coming from 14th on the grid. More work to do for the winner of the last 2 sprints over in Australia and in Egypt. Bez down in 16th.
It wasn't just Pedro Acosta's KTM that was fast starting. Brad Binder all the way up into 12th place. Mir attacking once again. He crashed here yesterday into turn 9. This time he nearly runs into Frankie Morbidelli.
And Morbidelli Pirelli, two riders that you don't want on your rear tyre. Every Grand Prix. Bastianini just picked up Ralph Fernandez further down the field as Mir cuts a real tight inside line to send it on the inside of Morbidelli through 11. I think Morbidelli's going to just drop back ahead of the Spaniard. He does indeed as they drop down now through turn 12. So Bastianini up in the 17th. Poor start for some of the Aprilians. Fernandez back in 18th. Bersecchi's trying to work his way forward now up into P14.
And Alex Marquez has jumped right onto the rear tyre of Pecco Bagnaia. Whether this is Bagnaia being a bit cautious with his rear tyre early on, or whether Bagnaia is mapping a little bit of front-end confidence, Alex Marquez has caught it very quickly out sideways, out of control on the way to turn 15, but he just about gets that Ducati stopped.
Alex begging, please, please, please stop Brazini Ducati on that run down into turn 14. Over the line we go as Marie's up inside the top 10. Bagnaia from Alex Marquez. Of course, they're trying to pick up some slipstream here, trying to out-drag Alex on the brakes into the first corner, not close enough.
What might be happening with Bagnaia is he's now the only rider. Timing screens are now giving us up-to-date time information. Bagnaia is the only rider in the top 8 who's on that medium front tyre. Everyone else behind him is on the soft front.
Down the order, we've got Brad Binder in 11th. He's done a good start off 7 places on lap 1. In fact, nobody made bigger gains than Binder on the factory KTM from 18th up into 11th as Alex Marquez goes on the inside. Bagnaia, well, he was aggressive, wasn't he, on the first lap of turn 4 on the cost. He's paid the same move through on Alex. Chuck up into the title line there. Through 5 goes Bagnaia, but it's Alex Marquez that leads.
Bagnaia wanted to try the Jorge Martin move from last year, didn't he, into turn 5, couldn't get it done. So has Bagnaia just got to be a little bit patient while his front tyre comes into the right operating danger? The Costa's now attacking him for second place.
Yeah, it doesn't look like at the moment he's got the early pace, does he? Pecco Bagnaia on that medium front tyre. Acosta's going to dart to the inside line here, trying to go through on the double world champion in 2-9. No way through. Bagnaia will have certainly better braking stability. How many times have we seen here out of shape on that factory Honda going into turn 9 where he perished in the sprint yesterday? Morbidelli's trying to cut the inside line going through turn 11. No way through. Further back, we've got Zarco in 8th place, Marini 9th. The top 10 man out by Antonio.
Morbidelli already overtaking each other. It's like Morbidelli and Quartararo yesterday. So once again, Acosta buzzing all over the rear tyre of Bagnaia's Ducati. As the front end momentarily touched down for Pecco Bagnaia. He's not got the support he wants at the moment from that medium front.
Oh, he hasn't. That was the perfect time to ride on board with Acosta there. Big moment, wasn't it? Bagnaia on that medium front tyre. We're going to stay on board now as Acosta almost runs into the backers further down the field. That's Albuquerque versus me. That's some fun between the two Spaniards at the moment. It's in the hands of Mir. It's going to be powerless now. They go side by side. Albuquerque versus Mir. Who's going to win the game with there on the brakes? Albuquerque's got the inside line. This is a battle for fifth. Mir goes around the outside. They almost take each other out on that run down into the first corner. Saying thank you very much goes Morbidelli now up into P6.
This is crucial time that Albuquerque is losing. We think he's got the pace to potentially win this race. And 5 later on, as Alex Marquez darts off into the distance. Once again, Bagnaia is fighting a rear guard action against the KTM on the Costa.
He's got help with the braking though, at all. The tyre is not working out for Bagnaia at all. Alex Marquez passed him going into 4. And that's brilliant by Bagnaia on the inside of Costa going through 5. You can almost hear the crowd singing themselves hoarse in the main grandstand here. Some battles between Bagnaia and Costa, but it's playing into hands, isn't it? This is perfect for Alex in the front of his Grand Prix.
Bagnaia knows how hard Acosta is to overtake, so he doesn't want to have to overtake him at any stage. So he's defending for all he's worth at the moment. He's Bagnaia, but Alex Marquez is already the thick end of a second up the road.
At least we can see on the onboard from Acosta. Acosta does take the inside line going into turn 9. That's a lovely move. Is he going to do it a little bit hard? Bagnaia will try and sweep around the outside and does so as they go through turn. The onboard from Acosta, we can clearly see it wasn't working in the sprint yesterday. The rear eye device of Bagnaia's GP25 is fully functioning in this Grand Prix.
He was certainly fast in without it yesterday. Maybe we should have it again at the moment. The ride on forward with Acosta through 12. Now the 2 right hands of 13 and 14. And we know how strong that KTM is in a straight line. He'll follow Bagnaia now and try and tack it once again into the final corner.
Pedro, a pest here for Pecco, isn't he? Bagnaia just cannot break away from the 37 KTM behind him. Alex Marquez at the moment is almost a second clear of Bagnaia. He started this lap at less than 4 tenths. Alex is getting half a second alone on this lap ahead of Bagnaia. He's having to work so hard. He's going to be really careful to fend off Costa. Only one to go. Now Alex Marquez was indeed half a second quicker than Bagnaia on lap 3.
He's now to lead up behind Quartararo's Yamaha, and if he can pass him, he might join this battle for second place here. Bagnaia Bagnaya's just got to try and stick with this and just hope that that medium front tyre comes into its working temperature, begins to bite this Sepang circuit, and he'll come into play later on in the race. But of course, if more riders pass him, he's not going to be able to make that time back up in the latter stages.
He's able to work the rear tyre at the moment, just to fended off Acosta. Acosta had just glued to the rear tyre at Bagnaia. This time around, he's not able to find a way to on the Italian. He's made that move once before in this Grand Prix at turn 4. The gap between Quartararo and the Cops spinning up towards a full second. And now charging towards Quartararo's factory Yamaha. It is Mir who anticipates the Morbidelli. Mir about a second up the road from the Italian.
Well, we talked to Aldeguer's prospects before this Grand Prix got underway. His victory chances might have already gone. He's already 3.5 seconds behind his race-leading teammate.
KTM turns better with that soft rear tyre. He'll have the better edge grip, but he won't have the braking stability that Bagnaia's got with that medium front. That's just that sort of... just see the difference between the two on board as we're back on board now with Acosta going through turn 11. That gap between Alex and Bagnaia is sort of stabilised around 8-9 tenths of a second. As long as Bagnaia can still keep Acosta at bay, he's going to be A-OK here, because we know the KTM really does suffer. Out of all the bikes on the grid, KTM probably with the Yamaha close forward, the biggest rear tyre drop and the whole field.
Is this now slowly starting to come to Pecco Bagnaia? He's not clearing off away from Acosta, but he's a smidge faster at the moment on this lap than Alex Marquez, who I guess dare not say too fast to phase out front, because he'll come in for some late pain in the latter stages. This is only lap 4 of 20, 1/5 the race distance completed, so an awful long way for these tyres to go. Alex Marquez leads on a 1:59.3. Bagnaia in the personal best, he was 5 thousandths faster.
On board with me, attacking Quartararo's factory. We know how late in the race Quartararo has needed it down into that first corner. What a shot this is. He's here going to try and cut to the inside line and attack the paint spin down into the turn 2. That was his plan, but Quartararo just too fast, too nimble on the agile M1 through the first sector. On board now with Mia, tyre spreading turn 3. This is where you really are going to have to manage it in the latter stages of the Grand Prix.
Personal best for the pair behind these two, Morbidelli and Aldeguer, 6 and 7, 59.6 for Morbidelli. Only a 59.9 though for Aldeguer, so he's got about a second off the race leading pace, and the yellow flags come out in the second sector for Paul Espargaro, who is dropping down the order.
3 Hondas at the top 10. It's a frustrated Paul Espargaro, head in hands for the Spanish rider of contact with Luca Marini in the sprint yesterday. Zarco in 8th, Marini in 9th. The two of the 3 Hondas then inside his top 10. Another great battle raging between Zarco, Marini, the Gian Antonio, Binder, Paul Espargaro, now Antti, of course, Bensecchi, Rins, all of those riders in that intense battle. They're going to have to be worrying and managing that front tyre pressure and temperature, aren't they?
Well, that was the front end washout, which went a long way to the barrel champ, so essentially lost it all the way over braking in Paul Espargaro. So after coming together with Marini yesterday, he scores no points in the Grand Prix either, unfortunately for Paul, who's had another quietly impressive weekend. As we watch once again from the aerial shot, and Acosta trying to tee up another run at Pecco Bagnaia from 14 up to 15.
Nothing between Bagnaia and Alex's lap times on this current lap. In fact, he's deviated by about 600ths of a second. They're matching each other corner by corner. They're going blow for blow here, aren't they? Alex is doing a great job here at the front of this Grand Prix as Acosta once again closes in on the rear tyre of Bagnaia. I'm surprised actually Acosta's that close to Bagnaia. We're sort of concerned about his own tyre. It's to the right hand side. Let me just give himself a bit of clear air. Oh, long we go then. Alex with a 159.3. Bagnaia with a 159.3. Acosta with a 159.3. At the moment, this top 3 are, as we can see on screen, in a race of their own. Fair play to Quartararo and Mia. They are the only other 2 riders in this Malaysian Grand Prix that are keeping themselves in the 159th one there. 4 tenths, half a second back of the top trio.
We're not seeing a rampage through the field at the moment from Marco Bentecchi like we saw in the sprint yesterday. He's back in 12th place, not in the 59s. He was 0.002 on the last lap. He is 7 seconds off the race lead. He is also on the medium front tyre. The only riders on the medium front ahead of Bentecchi are Bagnaia and Luca Marini, who runs in P9.
Bragging rights back in Japan at the end of this Malaysian Grand Prix. Will it be Yamaha or will it be Honda? Well, this is the battle raging for 4th place. Mia has there been a corner throughout this Malaysian Grand Prix weekend where he's had both wheels in line on the RC213. He is certainly box office to watch, isn't he? All action is the 36, but we just know it's one thing to have caught Fabio Quartararo, another thing completely to try and
behind them. It's still around 8/10 of a second. He's taken a 10th back, but he lost in the second sector, back in the third sector. So Alex Marquez at the moment keeping Sepang Malaysia at arm's length, but all of them will be a little bit cautious about pushing too hard this early in the race.
They've got great corner speed through 40 there, and I'm just thinking he's hardly going to line this up. That was all set up because Neil was superb going through 14. Look at that, he's pushing the front, sliding in the rear. He's almost in downtown Kuala Lumpur, wearing his other t-shirt in Chinatown. The moment visiting to Anthea. He was so good going through turn 14, made that move on Quattraro on the run down to 50, then he's got that little bit hot, and now he's got to do all the hard work all over again.
That's how hard he had to try and break to outbreak Fabio Quattraro for all of the strengths that the 2021 World Champion has got. That is one of them. 2021 World Champion versus 2020 World Champion for fourth place. The 2022 and 23 champion is in the middle of this three-way fight for the lead.
You've seen precious little of Aldeguer at the front of this Grand Prix. He's been a bit underwhelming, a bit disappointing so far. He's going to be hoping some ahead of him, that massive drop-off with their rear tyres. Aldeguer in 6th place. He's 1.1 seconds actually behind Frankie Morbidelli. Zarco still inside the top 10 in 8th, ahead of Marini. Again, this is a massive battle between Zarco and Marini, Gian Antonio Binder. There's his right in the thick of it, so too Alex Rins. Bastianini in 14th place. He's just 2 seconds behind Zarco in 8th. So Bastianini can still salvage a top 10 from 19.
Here is Aldeguer, who pulled away from Frankie Morbidelli up ahead of him. Top of the middle, back in the box ago. They're now 1.1 seconds apart for 6th and 7th. This is the Honda-led queue from 8th backwards. Zarco and Marini to Gian Antonio taking Binder, who's made his way up from 18 to 11. Benteke making very good progress yet. Here he is in 12th place. And as we always came to expect, Bastianini's on his way forward from his loaded group position. He's up to 13.
Costa once again is wringing the neck out of that KTM. Said in the sprint yesterday, he's got the talent, he doesn't really have the tools to be at the front where he wants to be winning Grand Prix, but once again riding above and beyond, isn't he? Acosta, he is dragging, kicking and screaming every ounce of performance out of himself in the last E16 right now. And I just can't break him at the moment. Let's just check the gap between 73 and 63 as we start this latest lap. Alex, fair play, still in the 159, Sepang Malaysia and Acosta then tipping to the 2-minute laps, 2:03.1 from the pair of them. That's only a 10th quicker than Quattraro, who's still somehow keeping me at bay in 4th.
Yeah, they're now 2 seconds off the back of this battle for second. Quattraro and Lear both below 2 minutes. Aldeguer still relatively slowly, fully expected from in pre-race, doing mid 2 minutes. He's now 1.5 seconds adrift from Frankie Morbidelli. He's not coming under any pressure from the Zarco group behind him, but Aldeguer now in a very low in P7.
Quattraro aside, there's another stellar job in 4th place. Yamaha are having a very miserable Malaysian Grand Prix. Alex Rins has just been picked off by both Bastianini and Ralph Fernandez. He's dropped back to 15th spot. Jack Miller and Miguel Oliveira having a bit of an inter-team tussle at Prix Watchalong Yamaha, but they're 17th and 18th respectively. Oliveira a couple of seconds further up the road than Sepang Chapter. Alex Marquez having made that early aggressive move on Sepang Malaysia at turn 4. He's looked super slick at the front of this Grand Prix on a slick surface here. Sepang has been faultless so far by the 73 in London, and didn't we having secured second in the World Championship, whether Alex Marquez will be fully unleashed once again in 2025. I think we've got an answer.
Where's that famed KTM tyre drop? Give me a bit of breathing space and a bit of time off from defending and looking at where Pedro Acosta is and potentially waiting for that number 37 to come up the inside of him into one of the heavy braking zones. At the moment, Acosta is showing no signs of being shaken off, but we're not in the hard distance yet. The second half of the race is where KTM will begin to get a little bit nervous about their tyre life.
This is a brutal battle here, further down the field. Just getting a blast from the engine in front of you, high exhaust fumes in your face. So every time you hit the rising, they struggle to even regulate their breathing as Marini under a little bit wide. That's going to allow Gian Antonio to pound his fellow Italian. Gian Antonio again now up into 9th place. Yeah, just to try and catch your breath in this battle, raging from Zarco in 8th and downwards. This is going to be a real long 10 laps or so for this mid-pack group.
Pace of Alex Marquez down, dropped back into 2 minutes. He did the fastest lap of the race on lap 2, a 1:58.873. He's now doing the 2 minutes 2:40, so we're already a second and a half slower than we were in the very beginning of the Grand Prix, and we are still short of mark distance.
And second on the rear tyre window closes in on the factory Honda of Marini. Marini then pushed back down into 10th place. Just out of picture there was Bastianini, who's sort of doing high 200s himself. Marini struggled on that last lap, running wide in turn 15, which allowed Victor through. Marini was back in the 201s, which is perhaps a little bit concerning as far as HRC are concerned. His teammate, a long way up the road, still in 5th place, and still unable to make any kind of stick on Quattararo, who's defending superbly for that top 4.
Potentially make a decision about whether you just back away from the line in front momentarily to allow your tyre pressure and temperature to go down. Of course, the teams will have been well aware of the challenge that faced them from that point of view and will have set their practice accordingly. Certainly Rossini will have been close eye and confirming Aldeguer to make sure that his pressure will be go. Is that in any way a contributing factor as to why Aldeguer is so slow in this Grand Prix?
It's a major spark. I mean, Tony was always struggled in these tropical environments 2 or 3 years ago, saying that when he's like this in these conditions, the heat was so bad, he was struggling to breathe because his throat was getting burnt. Such was the extreme heat that was being put on his body. I mean, those guys in that battle for 8th spot might as well just turn a hairdryer on full blast and stick their face in it. That's just how severe these conditions are. Alex, 8th to the second once again clear. Bagnaia, fastest rider in that top 3 on the last lap was a Costa, who was doing superbly. Benzecchi comes from a long way back. Has he got the inside line on Binder? Well, he's got the inside line. I'm not sure it's the right line to attack Binder going through turn 1. And Binder was always going to top it out though, wasn't he? He's aggressive as the little South African, and he stands firm and holds on to that 11.
Got the line, but Binder ripped it away from him. It's Mir this time with the move done. Once again, he's sideways on the inside. Quattararo had his own moment, and that might have just given Mir the crucial metre or 2 that he needs. The 2020 world champion is now on into 4th place.
What an awful shot that was. We just saw Quattararo's boot coming to view as Duanmi has set up the move on the climb up into turn 4. This has been coming. Quattararo always feared he was going to suffer with a lack of rig, fading rig from that factory Yamaha. Only the territory of the Grand Prix now halfway through where the M1 is just starting to run out of rear tyre. He then gets through. The gap between Quattararo and Morbidelli is only 8/10 of a second.
What a weird race Aldeguer's having. He's now the fastest rider on circuit all of a sudden. Aldeguer just did a 2:00.255 on the last lap. He's quicker than his teammate. Problem is for him, he's 6.5 seconds grip.
Just see Duanmi's creature there, Santi Hernandez, his clipboard, and gripping that pen so tight he's almost breaking it up. This is almost like tranquilo, calm Duan. Such a great opportunity to fight for the podium he blew in the sprint yesterday. He's on course for 4th place here. He started the overseas tour, the brilliant podium, his first podium on Honda in the table. They will not want him to be thrown away another big haul of points potentially here in the main Grand Prix. Look how quickly he has been able to get Quattararo behind him. Massive gap away between those two. Once again, well, this has been the story of his Grand Prix. He'll be sick of seeing plus 0 Costa on his clipboard as they cross over the line. 0.9 the gap between Alex and Pecco.
So Quattararo, of course, his pace is back with Mir, but he did do a 2:01.3 last time round, so his pace has dropped off. We'll see on this next lap whether he's been able to respond to that and try and fend off Frankie Morbidelli. Aldeguer, once again on that last lap, 2:00.03. Again, one of the fastest riders on the circuit as Fabio Di Gianantonio takes 8th place away from Johan Zarco.
Can't sing praises enough once again for Costa. He is just phenomenal. What a talent. What a talent he is on that factory KTM. He is not giving Bagnaia a moment's peace here, is he? He is Grand Prix. He really wouldn't do it, of course. But he's still keeping himself in this fight for 2nd place. He's still in this fight for maybe the victory, because we know that there's going to be tyre drop off significantly in the last stage of this Grand Prix. Morbidelli now starts to hone in on Quattararo.
Yeah, this is a bit of a familiar sinking feeling for the number 20 as he sinks down the order. He certainly did put up a good fight early on against Mir, but now he's lost that battle. Frankie Morbidelli is gobbling up the distance between the 21 and the 20.
Once again, Acosta closes up on Bagnaia going into his first time in this Grand Prix. We have just seen Alex establish a lead of over a second. It's been around 8-9 tenths for so much of this race since he made the early move on Bagnaia at turn 4, but it is over a full second. Don't forget, of course, to vote for your rider of the race back at home. Bagnaia has fought back in the third sector. He's been able to get the gap back down to 9 tenths of a second. Yellow flags are out in sector 3.
Rider to Miguel Oliveira, who hasn't come through the third sector, so Oliveira has gone down. He was running just outside the points in 18th place. He's in the battle with his teammate, actually, Chap Miller, 17 and 18th. Oliveira, next up for him, his final home Grand Prix in Portimao.
Morbidelli is going to be right on the rear tyre running quickly on his former factory Yamaha team. In fact, he's just taken it. You can just see on the graphic that has changed. Morbidelli has picked up Quattararo and moved up into 5th place. Quattararo is going to be in the 202, but he's not there. Of course, top line by Morbidelli, who made the move through the 5th with a 2:01.898 alarm bells should start ringing inside that factory Yamaha garage, because as it looks like at the moment, Quattararo's rear tyre dropping off a cliff.
So it was turn 9 by the looks of it. Difficult to tell from that shot. There's another yellow flag coming out in the first sector. Someone's down in the first couple of corners. He's the first rider to drop with the rear tyre dropped. Fabio Quattararo, Raul Fernandez, the Australian Grand Prix winner, has also gone down part way through this lap. There will be no back-to-back victories for the Trackhouse rider.
That just sums up, doesn't it? The ultimate line, highs and lows of being a Grand Prix motorcycle racer. 7 days after the biggest high in his Grand Prix career, becoming our 7th ever winner in 2025, finally breaking his winning up in MotoGP. 7 days later, he's crashing out while at the back end of the point scoring places. It must have been a brutal Sepang Grand Prix. For Aprilia, still their best runner. He's best second in 12th place. He has not been able to find a way through on the determined Binder.
Going up 1.25 seconds now for Alex Marquez. So Pecco Bagnaia, he was saving, well, he may have to start using up a bit of the rubber he's got left. He's got a chance of chasing after Alex Marquez. He just cannot shake off Acosta, can he? Doing low 2 minutes. So it's not like Bagnaia is going slowly, but he's losing his grip on a potential double victory here.
Picked up by Bastianini, his fellow Italian, so that second then pushed back down to 13th place. Second was the sprint winner, was the manually down into the final, clearly down the pace to cover up both Grand Prix on those occasions as well, but he has not been at the races. That's all here, not at the races at all here this weekend in Malaysia. A wake-up call for the Ferrari factory. Bagnaia has a look to his right. Over the long ago, 1.4 seconds. That felt like a big lap, didn't it? A massive lap 12 as far as Alex Marquez is concerned. He was half a second quicker both Bagnaia and Acosta. Well, this is the reason why we need to go away. I'm going to say that he picked up long by Morbidelli. Well, he was. He certainly was. That was Exhibit A, Frankie Morbidelli aggression.
Well, he really enjoyed his battle with Frankie Morbidelli yesterday. I don't think he enjoyed that one quite so much. Something happened to Aldi there on that last lap too. So he did a 2:04 because he was closing right up on the rear tyre of Quattararo. But a mistake for Aldi there means that he's going to win another couple of laps before he catches that Yamaha.
Alex Marquez is riding absolutely beautifully. He is riding immaculately at the front of this Grand Prix, and he has it well covered off, doesn't he? 1.6 seconds he is now clear of Bagnaia. He's got to buy another 2 tenths alone in sector 2 on this current lap. Bagnaia is going to be really cursing that front tyre choice, isn't he? And that Acosta might go to the inside here on the way to 2.9. So Lubric's running on a few occasions. Fair play. This is a rear guard action that Acosta will be proud of. He's delivered a few of those himself, hasn't he, in recent Grand Prix? He's going to go for the inside line now through 11, and Acosta then finally has retaliated on Bagnaia. Bagnaia just does not have the grip, does he?
Wow, the pace point. He's already lost half a second on this lap to Alex Marquez, so Acosta didn't have to wait around any longer, had to make the move. Probably too late though for Acosta to chase down Alex Marquez, unless Alex has been using too much tyre in the first half of the race. But the gap between the top 2, which is now 73 and 37, is 2 seconds now.
There are 4 riders on the medium front tyre with points scoring places. Everyone else is still right down at the back. Pecco Bagnaia, well, all this swaps and maybes, but he shoots himself in the foot, choosing that medium front tyre because he hasn't got the pace. Alex Marquez once again at 2:00.5 in 2 seconds. He is now clear of Acosta, who has now picked up the baton in second. Look at that already, half the white length of the Acosta. No point between himself and Bagnaia. I love watching Acosta. What a rider. What a Joan Mir in fourth place, comfortable in fourth place. If you could say comfortable with Frankie Morbidelli only 8/10 of a second behind you.
And catching at the moment, he was a quarter of a second quicker on the last lap. Was Morbidelli, he wants that fourth place. So of course, he was ultimately finishing the sprint yesterday. Not showing out there. The Sunday charge for the 54 has not really materialised, has it? He is closing up on Quartararo, but it's only for 6th and 7th.
Big man for Al again. One of the reasons why he's not coming into turn 9, spinning from Mercedes. He goes through. Fair play, Fermi. That was almost a disaster. 24 hours after being crowned Rookie of the Year in 2025. Yeah, no wonder. The preceding Ducati squad, Nadia Padovani, what a job she has done as figurehead of the Italian-based team. Aldeguer, well, he was almost on his backside there, wasn't he, going through turn 9. Same corner now where he's attacking hard on the front enders.
Another one.
Another one. Well, you saw him in Moto3 earlier on in the back end of the Grand Prix. These slippery conditions, these scorching hot temperatures really are late on seeing riders have massive moments. But we saw some saving potentially in Moto3, and now we're starting to see all the MotoGP riders who are on that time rope, aren't they, over it now?
They'll be warming to this at Honda because they're watching these sector times. Mir is coming at Bagnaia on this lap already. He's taking a third of a second out of the Ducati. Whether he's going to run out of time, there's one more. Another 6 laps to go after this one. But at the start of this lap, Mir was 3.1 seconds new enough behind Pecco Bagnaia. We're into the final sector now. The gap is already just over 2.5.
Alex Marquez is cruising here. He's cruising. Alex Marquez is doing mid 2:00 as Acosta and Bagnaia back in the 2:01s. Mir also stood behind 2:00. So too is Morbidelli. Morbidelli is the second fastest rider on circuit. I mean, Alex, your race leader, is faster than the Italian. He's got a bit of a second wind himself here, hasn't he?
He's hoping charging on for Joan Mir. No question about it. Half a second a lap. He will catch him in time for the checkered flag of this Grand Prix. So Pecco Bagnaia is really losing touch with Acosta. He's not got an easy run to the back of third place. Pecco, the 2020 World Champion, is closing.
Bagnaia is doing second one Acosta. Very quickly. He's further down the field, locking horns. It's Aldeguer versus Toto. This is a battle of 7th and 8th. A battle that we expected Aldeguer to be raging on much higher up the field as he runs wide as he goes through turn 5 there. I think it's fair to say that Aldeguer is suffering with that soft front tyre at the moment. Offline going through 5. We've seen him have a couple of front end washouts going through turn 9. We heard Akiayo send a jack on the grid talking about Pedro Acosta's prospects. This is going to be a race of survival. It's still turning out of the gates as far as Aldeguer is concerned.
Group behind this battle that we're watching. Di Gianantonio is right up behind Aldeguer as well. There's Sarko, Marini, Bastianini, Bentecchi, and Azura. They're all together all the way back to 14th place. But Bentecchi, his challenge hasn't materialised at all. Another rider probably regretting the choice to go with the medium front tyre today.
Antonio's also got some serious rhythm at this stage of the Grand Prix. He's doing some 2:01s as well. Alex Marquez, well, this has been a class ride, hasn't it? First time he's going to, looks like, we went for the commentator's cursor, but it looks like it's a formality. He is going to win outside of Spain for the first time in his MotoGP career. It's Quartararo at the moment. Be a great job to get the top 6 in the circuit. Greasy, slippery conditions, which certainly don't favour the current inline 4-cylinder factory M1. Alex 2.4 seconds in clear now of Acosta, matching the pace of the race leader. Bagnaia is suffering big time. He lost half a second on that last lap to Alex and Acosta, and that gap between Bagnaia and Mir very quickly. That's going to drop down to under 2 seconds.
Another third of a second to Mir lost last time around. Mir is bringing Morbidelli along with him for the party too. So Frankie Morbidelli might yet still get involved in that podium battle. It's going to need some more drop off with Bagnaia. He's just going to try and manage as best as he can in the final 5 laps. That Ducati must feel horrible to ride because the grip continues to just ebb away from those tyres when everyone is in the same boat, Pecco.
Alex Marquez put the icing on the cake yesterday in the sprint, securing second in the World Championship. Well, today's Grand Prix victory will just be the cherry on the top, won't it? As Bagnaia just running out of pace here. Really is struggling. He was that early leader from pole position. He's got some serious trouble building behind him here because this is not a given that he's going to hang on to this podium. 4.5 laps remaining. You just see there in the background going through turn 9.
only rider in the top 10 in the race on the medium front tyre. Everyone else with the soft run is enjoying their afternoon much more than the two-time world champion is at the moment. Bagnaia has been able to stabilise the situation somewhat on this current 16th lap of 20. The gap hasn't come down, and to this point it's still hovering just under 2 seconds. So is Bagnaia just about managing to get this tyre to the end in some sort of shape? Is he starting to get on top of the problem?
Is it the medium front now? His issues just hasn't been able to get this soft tyre working well. We'll find out after the Grand Prix. Marino on the inside. Zarco, very, very briefly as they'll go side by side on the exit of turn 50. What a battle this has been. It is now in the hands of Bastianini. Over the line, this pack go. Bastianini in 9, the sprint yesterday. He goes sideways, locked a lot on the front end of the KTM into turn 1. Behind him now is Zarco, Marini, Binder and Bezzecchi. Agura also in this battle, so just over 1.2 seconds, covering 9th, down to 14.
Some points on the ground, and Bezzecchi carrying it every point that he can get. Lucas Bagnaia is struggling at the moment up in 3rd place and fading away from the top 2. He is still pulling out some crucial points on Bezzecchi, the 3rd in the World Championship, is kicking off in this group further back. Bagnaia at the moment would be pulling out 13 points over Bezzecchi for 3rd in the World Championship.
Bagnaia should have this one. This is still the criticise Bagnaia. You go, well, why did he go for that medium front tyre? He would have said, well, with the hottest conditions of the weekend, that was the only way that he felt that maybe he should have the support braking late on in the Grand Prix. But he had his reasons, and we'll understand his reasons for why he didn't work out post Grand Prix very, very shortly. Next second, trying to find a move once again through on Binder. Those two have had some close calls already in this battle further down the field.
You just see the on-board of Bezzecchi point of way behind Binder, and just how much that soft rear tyre is wearing away from Binder, and he'll be in the same boat as everyone else in this race. Every rider is on the soft rear tyre. Bagnaia's advantage over Mir, 1.7 seconds through the 3rd sector, so he's not losing enough at the moment for Mir to catch him in time for the checkered flag.
Aldeguer's just started to pinch a little bit of time back on Quartararo in their battle for 6th place. That's come down to just over 4/10 of a second. Quartararo at the moment. On board then with Bezzecchi up into 6th gear in excess of 300 kilometres now. The boy drops anchor. Somebody's gone down in the final section. Who's down the road to the final corner?
Aldeguer.
Oh, it's Aldeguer. Well, this, I have to say, it has been coming. He's had some big scares, hasn't he, on the front end of that Ducati. It looked like, I guess it was just to the point where that gap, I just said he was pinching time back on Quartararo in the race for 6. Unfortunately, he got to pinch too much time back. Trail braking into turn 15. We've seen that crash happen so many times down the years. And just breathing the footprint, baby. Aldeguer crashes out. Still been, oh, Bagnaia's gone in really hot. He's got a problem. He's got a problem. What's going on here with Bagnaia? Yeah, there's something happening with Bagnaia. He looks down to his left-hand side. So Pecco Bagnaia's Malaysian Grand Prix is over. It wasn't going to be a dominant dream double here in Malaysia anyway for the number 63. But when he was looking like in a safe and secure 3rd place, Pecco Bagnaiia, with 3 laps remaining here in Sepang, is down and out.
Up into 3rd place then. Morgan going into 4th. Quartararo's been having a good look down at the left-hand side of the bike. Let's ride on board and have a listen.
Still running. Yeah, the engine is running. So what has happened here to Pecco Bagnaiia? Look at the flaring swing arm.
No sign of delamination on that tyre either for Bagnaia, but he's clearly concerned by something at the rear of his bike. And Bagnaia with a shake to the head. All of a sudden talks about him gaining points on Marco Bezzecchi. As it is now, Bezzecchi will regain 3rd once again in the World Championship.
So a few moments ago, was it actually the medium front? There was his problem, was actually the soft rear. Oh, it's causing something headache in his Grand Prix. Well, good to find out because that has turned into a disaster, hasn't it, for Pecco Bagnaiia? 3 laps from home, and he's going to have to cruise back to the pit lane. Of course, out of all that lane drama, this has pushed Mir onto the podium places. He's 1.4 seconds clear at Morbidelli. So an overseas tour, we started with a podium in Japan for Joan Mir. Looks like he will finish with a podium here in Sepang for Mir. This will be some bounce back as well after after his disappointment in the sprint yesterday.
This is now a battle for 8th place between Marini, Zarco, Binder, Bezzecchi and Aurora. And Marini's still leading, and momentarily Bezzecchi moves on into the top 10, but he's been repassed by Brad Binder once again. They're all back in the 2:03s now in this group. That's how much they're all struggling with their tyres. They'll be hoping these 2 laps click off quickly.
Yeah, some of this lot will be dealing with some real issues with the front tyre. I think that goes on the inside of Zarco into turn 4. There's just no way you can be this deep into the Grand Prix, but when you've been in such a big battle as well that you're not having to be really cautious on that front end. We saw Alligator get caught out. Zarco's big time. Look at the gap top of the lane.
Binder going through. Binder's disappeared off of the road. Bezzecchi's now going to come through. Bagnaia into the pits. He is out of this Grand Prix. And John Zarco's gone from the front in this queue all the way to the back in half a lap.
Late drama and late heart for Bagnaia, who was on course for a double podium here in Sepang. He immediately comes into the factory at the Gatti garage. Immediately up go the shutters. They're not going to give any indication as to what has caused the time in the punctuate to Bagnaia's Grand Prix. Oh, that is frustrating. That is really, really deflating, isn't it, as far as Bagnaia is concerned. Tranmere then up into P3. Looks like he's got Monday well and truly coming up against still that 1.4 seconds ahead of the Italian in 3rd place. Morbidelli's got no trouble behind him. Quattraro almost 2 seconds down the road.
Quattraro's taken the second of the quarter. Alex Marquez has now started the final lap of this Grand Prix. But we can imagine the weekend getting much better for Alex Marquez after he's secured runner of the World Championship yesterday, but it is about to get that little bit better.
Yeah, it really is. He felt like what he said himself with the pressure eased, having tried to secure second in the World Championship. That was job done completing it yesterday. And Alex, minus any kind of pressure, free to just attack, and he's been brilliant in this Malaysian Grand Prix. There's a Guru going on the inside of Bezzecchi here. This has been a real strong late rally by Agura. He's now up into the top 10.
He's now the top Aprilia in this race. Binder, of course, making a move on Zarco, gives him a little bit of an advantage on the road, so he shouldn't be caught. Alex Marquez can't be caught, but second in the World Championship, that advantage has been going to Bagnaia's 3rd place in the championship. Bezzecchi with 11th place, does go back ahead of his fellow Italian, but Alex Marquez, who's taken 2 victories on Spanish soil already this season, the memorable first victory in Jerez, followed by a home win in Barcelona, after a sprint win here 2 years ago, he's about to triumph in Malaysia.
Costa has ridden absolutely superbly once again. He is going to muscle and wrestle that KTM to get another podium here. Tranmere in a safe 3rd place. Mascianini is going to rescue 7th, another top 10 from way down the grid, a 19th spot. But Alex then now jumps down the hill through turns 12 and 13. This has been a brilliant performance, has been done by Alex. No danger of him being caught late on here. 3 seconds clear of Acosta, Santi Hernandez. Tranmere's HRC crew chief looks on me is going to keep hold of this 3rd place. Surely they can road. Oh, that is only 6 tenths of a second. Further out of the final corner goes Alex Marquez. And Alex Marquez has sprinkled some magic on the Malaysian Grand Prix in 2025. He wins for the 3rd time in a season which has seen him secure 2nd place in the championship, behind from the mark. Pedro Acosta does take a stunning 2nd. Another giant putting out by Acosta and goes to take 2nd spot. Behind us, Tranmere on the factory Honda does hold off Morbidelli to take another podium for Honda. 2 here at Honda podiums in 4 Grand Prix here in Malaysia and in Japan. Morbidelli is 4th, Quattraro inside the top 5. Gian Antonio rounds out your top 6. Mascianini from 19th to 7th. Marini, Binder, Aguri in your top 10. Bezzecchi was only 11th from 14th. Points for Zarco, Rings and Miller and Chantra. carry on. I think that bike became unrideable because he had some kind of puncture issue at the end there. We'll find out. He picked up some debris at some point in the Grand Prix. Well, what is not up for debate is that Bangai was out when the checker flag was thrown. Alex Marquez was in a race of his own here in Sepang, 2.6 seconds clear of Acosta. An all-Spanish podium lockout at Ducati, leading over KTM, leading over Honda, and more success in what has already been a rich Nordic successful season as far as BK8 Gresini Racing are concerned. Second the World Championship for Alex. Did he pick up some debris at some point in the Grand Prix? Well, what is not up for debate is that Bangai was out when the checker flag was thrown. Alex Marquez was in a race of his own here in Sepang, 2.6 seconds clear of Acosta. An all-Spanish podium lockout at Ducati, leading over KTM, leading over Honda, and more success in what has already been a rich Nordic successful season as far as BK8 racing is concerned. Second World Championship for Alex, top independent team rider. They're now the best independent team. Aldeguer was the rookie of the year yesterday, although his Sunday went a bit pear-shaped, didn't it? Having crashed out of top 6 contention. Alex Marquez. Well, superb, absolutely brilliant. Despite all the pre-race concern about a tech issue on the grid, there was no issue today for Alex Marquez as he wins the Malaysia Grand Prix. Let's get the thoughts of Michele Massini with Jack.
Michele, what a brilliant ride from Alex. It's not been an easy weekend. 2 crashes on Friday. He's had to overcome a lot, but second in the World Championship and now race victor today. Congrats.
Thank you very much, but first of all, I want to pay some respect for the MotoGP guys at the moment. So we will celebrate in the proper respectful way, and as you said, an amazing race. We know the potential of Alex here, and today was the day to take the big points, and yes, he did very well there. Thank you, well done very much.
Thanks very much, Jack. Thanks to Michele Massini. Thankfully, Alex Marquez didn't crack as often as Michele's voice down there in Park Ferme. What a year has been for the racing team. What a performance, what a ride once again by Pedro Acosta. I feel like that's what the giant is as far as he's concerned. He's putting that KTM into places that no other rider can do at the moment. Last year he was 7th over the line, which is pretty respectable. Coming from 1900. Beast was 13 seconds behind Acosta. Fabio Quartararo, he's going to be when all said and done after what at times has been quite a tricky weekend here in Sepang with the factory Yamahas to come home in 5th place. Shows all of his fighting qualities, shows all of his fighting spirit. All he and Acosta is a more competitive motorcycle than he is, because they're title contenders, some competitive motorcycles. Acosta and Quartararo, no question, are title contenders. He gets a bit of pulmonary medicine there at turn 15.
For the second time in 24 and a half hours. He certainly enjoyed his Malaysia Grand Prix. He worked hard for that. There's no question that Fabio Quartararo is an elite MotoGP rider. Just give him the equipment and watch him go. Big place for him today. 4 points now, he is behind Fermin Aldeguer for 4th in the World Championship after Aldeguer crashed out.
Race between Malia Padovani, Gresini Moss, Michele Massini, the ice best to Alex Marquez after what would have felt like 20 very long laps. Rough there, just didn't it? Very rich in the back, that poor Pedro Acosta. Yesterday on the soft rear tyre, he was actually worried about getting back and he was in real trouble. Second then creeps back ahead of Bangai in the battle for 3rd place, and Pedro Acosta's hopes are still being third in the championship. In 3rd place. Joan Mir then starts and finishes our flyaway tour with a podium. Let's get his thoughts with Jack.
Well, Joanne, you let all of the frustration of yesterday steal you on 2 podiums, 3.5 weeks in a row. It's fair to say that both yourself and Honda are back in the big time.
Yeah, this is when you push and you give the 100% always, and you never give up. Many times you make some interviews and some
now, as far as the RC200 rider is concerned, a podium in Japan, disappointed crashing out in podium contention this spring yesterday. That's how you make amends. That shows what a quality rider Juan Mir is. Third than he was at the checker flag. Looking forward to hearing the thoughts of Pedro Acosta. I wonder who's got a big smile on his face, because that was just once again pure class. Nothing shy of pure class from the KTM star. Let's get the thoughts of Acosta to check.
Well, Pedro, after all of KTM's tyre woes after recent weeks, how on earth did you get that soft to the end of the race? You would not let Pecco go and eventually got the better of him.
Well, I just with my moment, you know, at the end. Alex was super fast from the beginning, he was super aggressive. And today I was super pissed off at the warm up because we touched something in the bike and was no power out this last two corner, and I was losing a lot, and I said, guys, if I fuck up, you that have to be myself, you know, for this. Remove all the controls and we go racing, you know, for this. Was super cool. Just thanks all my crew because they make super great job. Everyone that is watching from home. Miguel Arriba from Portugal Sport, Ari, my coach, Mar Ruira, my new physical trainer, and all that is supporting me from home, even my dad, he was calling me, but we don't have signal. And also I want to send a last message, thanks for Daniel Paul to be here, I mean in Poland and in TV, trying to give us this small of experience that they have more than us. And also I want to send a message and a big hug for Ado Silva, Prix Watchalong, and also Randy that is over there, because we know how hard can be sometimes the sport, even if we love it for this. Buddy, thank you, this is an honest goal of the world. Buenos días, everybody.
Phenomenal ride back by Pedro Acosta. We have to, boys, in that entry there with Jack. This was a move that he made. Brilliant move on Bagnaia. Much clearly innovative Bagnaia big time, the puncher. That's obviously why he was losing. I wonder at what point of the race was it when he realised that he was having some major issues, maybe in the build-up. He felt a bit of a strange feeling 2 or 3 laps before he pulled to the side of the track going through turn 3. Pedro Acosta had to work very hard for that second place. It is his 9th MotoGP podium. 8 of his last 9 finished now, being top 5s. KTM have got a star in the box, they've got to try and keep him up there 2026 and beyond. But Alex Marquez, what a weekend it has been for Alex. Second in the World Championship secured, and his 3rd win of the season in some style here in Sepang. He's the champ.
Alex, second in the World Championship and now the Malaysian Grand Prix winner. Have you had any better weekends than this?
Well, yeah, better, yes. I was feeling was not an easy weekend for us. We started suffering a lot, suffering 2 crashes on Friday, and later on, you know, the feeling was not really perfect, but today the strategy was clever. It was that strategy was the winner one, so I was really clever on that point to make the move and to be aggressive on that moment of the race, because I didn't know it was the key. I lost one race here 2 years ago to not to Turkey in the beginning, just waiting too much, so I decided to go for it, and yes, really happy. It's a really important win for us to celebrate the second, but in my prayers, my thoughts with the MotoGP guys, and still there in the stomach have some tension, so just crossing fingers to them.
Well said.
Thank you.
Alex Marquez has been voted by fans at home the rider of the race. He's a class driver, Alex, and he's a class gentleman as well. And here's the thoughts at the end of that interview with Jack, the sentiments that are echoed by the entire motorsport community as we continue to send our best to Jose Antonio Guerrero and Noah Detweiler, injured in a side lap incident at Prix Moto 3. Out of the final corner though goes Alex Marquez, victorious in MotoGP for the 3rd time in his career. Won the sprint here a couple of years ago, and he has got a Malaysian Grand Prix victory now on the CV as well. But a mixed day, a mixed bag to say the least for Gresini Ducati. We thought Fermin Aldeguer was going to be one of the main challengers in that Grand Prix as well. Unfortunately, he crashed out of top 6 contention late on at turn 15. This Park Ferme feels really, with third place. Behind second place, wasn't content with a lot of issues in the build-up to his eventual retirement. What it has done, once again, it's cost Bagnaia third overall in the standings. Pedro Acosta is only 31 points behind Marco Meza in third place. And it's a big ask, isn't it? It's a tough challenge to overhaul Bez for third in Portimao and Valencia. Costa up to fifth. 5 points is the gap between Bez and Bagnaia.
This is another look at Pecco Bagnaia recognising the problem into turn 3. We're trying to have a very good look at that rear tyre to try and see any signs of a puncture. As mentioned, it was clearly serious enough for Pecco Bagnaia that he couldn't carry any kind of lead angle or speed into corners and slow the riding down. And we can look over at the rear tyre, and it was here on the way out of turn 2. Very already to turn 1, look, he's already going straight on.
The fact that he was looking to his left and to his right meant that obviously he was not what the issue was himself, or whether it was from the left or was it the issue with the right hand side of the tyre. I think it's the function.
They'll be certainly doing the post-mortem and the investigation down at Ducati.
Looks like a puncher.
It looks a little flat.
It's moving flat right now, that's for sure.
Bagnaia's Malaysian Grand Prix move to whatever the cause. The end result is no points exactly for Pecco Bagnaia. We'll pause and listen to our top 3.
Como el vídeo de Japón, que se veía un poco puso blister quizás, ¿no? Sí. Al pobre tío salía de la 6.
Es que yo había un momento que he visto que se ha colado en la 1.
A ver, justo contigo en la 4.
Y luego se ha vuelto a colar y dice, a ver si me está dejando pasar por lo de las presiones o algo.
No, se ha parado. Sí. Creo que... Queda picado,
¿En Lucas?
También se ha caído.
Yo así como más o menos por la carrera, porque yo veía la luz de la suya. Caminando, la bajaba alguien y iba séptimo así todo el rato y ya luego cuando se han ido que estaba ya.
¿Cómo caían los tiempos? Flipa,
Que no me pillaban, tío, bueno.
No se pudo.
¿Habéis luchado, no? Un poco, vosotros.
Sí, al principio.
Vale.
Me he adelantado aquí, luego me he adelantado en otro sitio y ya cuando me quedaba un poquito detrás y ya 9, 8 o así.
Carmen se ha quedado. O sea que hoy...
Aquí ya levantabas y digo,
Acuerdo de eso. Pero se la ha parado ahí,
Yo la tela que era de España cuando yo iba en la red para ya. Era como muy técnico. Era 8 la media.
Ahí, izquierda está bien. Centro, ¿no?
Ha usado mucho, tío.
Iba bien. No sabía ni qué hacer.
era un poquito mitad del gol y la tuvo aplicada.
Bien.
Jodido, jodido no, cabrón. La sabría ahí.
Bueno, ya, pero para castigarnos por lado,
Jodido nosotros ahí celebrando como victoria, pero tío, yo lo he ganado, cabrón.
Bueno, hay que celebrarlo aquí, no sabes cuándo se acaba lo bueno. Sí, hombre, aquí de golpe se acaba.
Sí, hombre. Luego, ahora no puedo nada.
So the top 3 have started their protests of the 2025 Malaysian Grand Prix. Let's take Charles Romano Almasiana and Tokyo will now lead the WRC 213V. Completed. Marking on the podium for Joan Mir. Making the top 3, haven't they? As far as Hondas go. Alex Marquez, then Pedro Acosta and Joan Mir about to come to the podium. Long Spanish lockout of the top 3.
Yeah, one would expect the podium celebrations to be relatively muted given the events of the day. Reiterated the stage around the day, with us through this afternoon's broadcast. Thank you for your company. Any official information that we receive on the condition of the other three riders involved earlier today, Antonio Reda and Lloyd Davila. As soon as we do receive any official update, we will bring it to you. And in terms of the MotoGP action today, celebrations will begin for Alex Marquez, Pedro Acosta and Juan Mir. For the Ducati squad, to watch someone else do the winning last time out, Carlo Marini from Ducati will accept the winning prize. Juan Mir could well have been on the podium yesterday, let's be fair. Backing up crashed at turn 9. Today. That's the bad rock yesterday, turned back in his favour today. However, Apexward and Acosta is second place in MotoGP now. The rider who secured second place in the World Championship will take the top prize today. Alex Marquez claims his third victory of 2025. Marquez sure watching back on his face. Very proud yesterday. A success of his brother this afternoon. Congratulations to Cressini then. And to Ducati. Cressini, the top independent team in 2025. That can be confirmed today. Third place then for Juan Mir. Claims MotoGP podium number 15. Signs of tangible progress continue. Mir was quite grateful to see the checkered flag in two. He was half a second ahead of Morbidelli at the finish, having lost a second to him on the final lap. Second place goes to Pedro Acosta as he adds another podium to his tally, his fourth of the season. Certainly muscled that KTM around today. Marquez, second in the World Championship, second in the sprint yesterday. But after winning that early arm wrestle with Pecco Bagnaia, never came under any serious threat. The Deputy Prime Minister of Malaysia does the honours. Alex Marquez completes a dream weekend for him with Malaysian Grand Prix.
Celebrations here by the top three. Alex Marquez, what a performance, what a season has been for Alex, 29-year-old. On so many occasions has stepped out of the shadow of brother Mark in a 2025 campaign where he has quite rightly secured that second place in the World Championship. More podium success for KTM and Pedro Acosta. Juan Mir confirming once again that this Honda rival is well and truly up and running, isn't it? Well, after Asia Oceania swing at the end of the season, we head back to Europe, to the Iberian Peninsula, the penultimate round of 2025, the Qatar the stunning Portimao.
Alex Marquez wins the Malaysian Grand Prix from Pedro Acosta and Juan Mir. Frankie Morbidelli fourth. Fine ride for Fabio Quartararo to hang on to fifth there. Fabio Gianantonio and then Air Bastianini all the way through from 19th to 7th. Luca Marini 8th. He was another rider to go for the medium front tyre, not necessarily enjoying its feeling. Brett Minnan 9th ahead of Igor, who was the top of Freddie at home in 10th. Marco Bezzecchi only 11th, but those 5 points could be very useful for him. Joan Zarco, his pace fell off a cliff later on to 12th. Alex Woods 13th, and Jack Miller and Sepang Malaysia taking final points. Pecco Bagnaia and Ferdinand Aldeguer, 2 of the 3 pre-race favourites, failing to score. So the top 2 positions are locked in the World Championship. Marco Bezzecchi regains 3rd place today over Pecco Bagnaia, despite finishing down in 11th place. Changing positions involving the VR40 Ducati riders as Frankie Morbidelli leapfrogs his teammate Fabio Di Giannantonio for 6th. To Grand Prix winning ways today. The previous advantage though over Kennedy for second has been cut to 30 points. Team standings, Caterinovo, course champions, proceeding safely in second place. The R46 are 60 points clear of KTM for third. Independent rider standings. Alex Marquez, of course, is your top independent rider of the season. As in the main standings, Frankie Morbidelli, he now takes second place ahead of Fabio Di Giannantonio. Independent team standings, Brasili, of course, confirmed today as your top independent team of 2025. To be following the Bagnaia master plan from pole position. Lightning start for the 37s, who takes second place early on. There's Quartararo and Aldeguer who went side by side. Top 3 already breaking clear in those early stages. Quartararo without the pace to go after the top 3 initially. Alex Marquez recognising the urgency to pass Acosta quickly to take second. Turn forward where he wants to take the lead from Pecco Bagnaia. He wouldn't see the 73 again. Acosta went on the attack trying to secure second place. It was the 37 and the 63 trading places early on. Juan was launching a challenge as 2 former MotoGP World Champions went head to head for 4th. Second place was finally received by Acosta just after half distance as Bagnaia started to run into some major tyre trouble. Problems put an end to Bagnaia's Grand Prix. Running on into turn 4 with clearly issues at the rear of the bike, which certainly the suspicion is a puncture. Ducati, of course, will no doubt confirm later on, but it's no doubt whatsoever is that Alex Marquez was your undisputed winner in Malaysia today. Having secured the runner-up spot yesterday and the Book of the Year prize 2019 wins the Malaysian Grand Prix. Will we be any nearer to knowing who the Moto2 champion is in 2025? Their Moto2 battle is coming up in a few minutes' time.